All right. Friday Night Comics. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday Night Comics. It might be Friday morning where you are. It might be Saturday morning where you are. But we believe in all those things. We believe in comics. Friday Night Comics at the Sequential Artists Workshop. Welcome. If you don't know, SAW is a nonprofit school. We have online courses. You can find them at sawcomics.org. Our biggest online course is closing its doors next week because we start our classes. That's the online certificate program that runs from September to about June. It is a full-length college level course in all things comics, and there's still some time to check it out at sawcomics.org. Next week in this slot, this Friday night slot, we're going to have Tommy Parrish, so you can come check that out. Yeah. So thank you. If you've donated to this tonight or any other night or any other time, it helps us pay the artists. It helps keep these free. It helps us give scholarships to people in need for the program we just mentioned and other programs. And it helps keep us afloat. We really appreciate that. Um, so we'll get started. Please no inappropriate speech or imagery. Keep it roughly PG-13 in the sharing, especially. And what else? Oh, yeah, sharing. So please share on social media or whatever your favorite platform is. You can use the hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can tag us at Comics Workshop. You can tag Cara at Cara_Gormally, but I'll put that in the chat. And you can also come to our sharing site at members.sawcomics.org, and you can find lots of people there. It's important to watch the time. We'll keep these workshops are 90 minutes long or sometimes shorter, but never longer. So let's respect our instructors' time by keeping it at 90 minutes when it's time to share. But there are lots of other ways to share, including our PDFs, which I'll tell you about right now. We do these weekly PDFs of your artwork, and they appear weekly on seesawcomics.org, and you can they look like this. We put them together. They're just fabulous. They're really, really fun to scroll through, especially if you've been to a bunch of them. You can remember what some of the prompts were and what some of the exercises were. So enjoy. We are here to celebrate Cara Gormally. We're here to learn from Cara Gormally and to celebrate Everything is Fine, I'll Just Work Harder, which is an intense book. We've been talking about intense books. Oops, that should be shrunken. Coming Home to Ourselves. Cara, I'm so glad you're here. Let me
Thanks for
share.
having me.
Yeah. And I can't wait to draw rabbits. Is that what we're going to do?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah, we love drawing bunnies.
Well,
Thanks, everybody. I'm so delighted to be here today.
awesome. I'm going to spotlight you if that's okay. They'll make you bigger
Sure.
on the screen. Okay.
Okay.
There we
Oh,
go.
there I am. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and share my slides. I'm Cara Gormally, as Tom just said, and I'm super excited to draw with everybody tonight.
All right.
Go ahead and all right, can everybody see that?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so the kind of theme for tonight is this idea of coming home to ourselves. And I used an image from my book that has some rabbits, as Tom said, and I feel like strongly associated with bunnies and their softness. So yeah, that comic is tending to myself. I feel like I can finally enjoy being and becoming. So we're going to do a little tending to ourselves tonight. And I think that feels like really important, especially given everything that is going on. And yet, like, things keep going. So I want to first give everybody kind of a moment to arrive because, like bunnies, we're also animals arriving in a new space. And so maybe just take a moment to settle in and breathe and look around and notice your surroundings. You might notice something in your surroundings that bring you some joy. I've got this really lovely little corridor of trees and greenery outside of my window. And I was actually just looking at a video today from when my kid was only about 2. And it's gotten so much greener, and it brings me so much delight to see the birds out there. So, yeah, look around, kind of notice what brings you some joy. And then when you feel ready, come back here. So I want to share just a tiny bit about my book. And I want to be mindful too. My book is, I would describe it as, I would probably say it's R-rated. And so I want to be mindful of that in case anybody's here to make it family friendly. So I'm not sharing any part of it that is R-rated. Um, I'm particularly biased toward my book, and so I highly recommend it and hope you'll enjoy it. But I'll share a little bit about my elevator pitch, which is essentially workaholic professor, me or former me, embarks on a transformative therapeutic journey after a Facebook friend request resurfaces long buried trauma. So there's kind of that part of the book, but then a bigger theme of the book that I think resonates with a lot of people, whether or not you've had similar experiences in your life, is this idea that we often are kind of charged both on a personal and on a societal level to just sort of push things down and say, everything's fine, I'm doing fine, I'll just push through it, I'll just work harder. And a lot of times, like everything isn't fine, and we can't actually work harder through the things. And so I want to kind of be with a little bit of that tonight. Um, and so I'm going to share a few pages, and everything I think is totally okay for everybody to see. Um, so I want to share this page, for example, because it's an example of like how we're often on autopilot. And so we're doing these things that we almost do every day, and they're so automated that we may not even have to think about doing them. For me, it's things like making lunch for my kid. It's like, I get the lunchbox, I find the things, I put it in, I fold up the lunchbox, it goes into the bag. Like it's like almost over before I know I even did it. It might be like making your bed if you're a person who makes your bed. Might be brushing your teeth. It might be, almost anything kind of like that. Those routine, mundane things where we're not really aware. Maybe you're eating a snack and then you realize like, oh, I actually didn't even taste that first Oreo, so now I need to eat 3 more to know what they actually tasted like so I could actually enjoy them. I don't know if that's like, hopefully that's not an experience that's unique only to me. But I think we are really conditioned to learn to not really see things. And so we kind of wake up and immediately get to work at ignoring things. And that is the case um, whether I think you've experienced trauma or whether it's just everyday kind of life. And I think capitalism likes that. So, um, yeah, so here I want to also share a couple pages to kind of show like a pre and post therapy and like put in a good word for therapy because like, yay, it's changed my life in many great ways. Also, growing is really painful sometimes. And, but yeah, I think on the left is a page where you can see the characters on this run, really lost in thought, not really on the run, too busy with all of those other things. So not really embodied. And then on the right um, is a more mindful way of being. And of course, there's a lot of ways to get to this, and it doesn't necessarily mean therapy, but um, there's just coming into our bodies and being present with what's actually happening around us. Tom, I see your hand raised.
That's just a preparatory thing for later.
Okay. Good.
Sorry.
I was like, I'm ready. I'm
It
like,
was
I'm
supposed to be.
in like professor mode. Like, do you need any? Yeah. Like, um,
Nope.
yep. Yeah, so a big theme in my book really is this idea of coming home to myself and that juxtaposition of these really mundane everyday moments and then the more profound things. And I think also I think it's ultimately pretty profound when we actually let ourselves like be and like be with the hard things and be with those things in the really ordinary moments of our life. Um, Here is my Instagram, as Tom shared in the chat. And I've also got a newsletter that is on Substack, and it's called Soft Things, and it's comics about science, research, and being human. And I hope you'll subscribe. So for tonight, these are a few of the things that you might need. I am a big fan of color when I'm working by hand. Also when I'm working on my iPad, I'm going to work by hand. Today I have one of my favorite kinds of paper is just these really big printer sheets. I think they're like a 9 by 14. I'm not sure why I love them, but there's something more pleasant to me about this than like a not like 8.5 by 11.5. Um, I don't know. I just love it. It's like a legal piece of paper. It gives me more space. Um, and I also kind of like that it's not toothy. I like the smoothness, but go for a paper that feels good for you, or if you're working on a tablet. Um, I'm also a fan of, I feel like these are the best pencils ever. I never pronounce it. Um, Maybe somebody else knows how. My day job doesn't require me to pronounce things, and I'm grateful for that. Um, I also love a pen. I love to draw with a pen. And I've got a little bag and I'm going to show you all the goodies inside of it. Some brand new crayons. I've also got a little jar of some sort of favorite color crayons. And I've also got these really skinny Uniball Signo um, pens in a few different colors that I really like. And so I might use those too, kind of whatever strikes me. And I'm also a Papermate Flair fan. And I know a lot of people love like a sharp, like a some kind of Sharpie marker. So those are some kind of ideas for things that you might need. And I'm sure everybody has this kind of stuff at home.
Was your pencil? It was hard to see on this. It's easy to see on the screen. Is it the Ticonderoga or is it something
Yeah,
else?
Ticonderoga. That's how you, yeah. I
Ticonderoga. Yeah.
like that's too many syllables for me. Um, but
Is
these
it?
are my favorite. They just feel soft and good. They're easy to sharpen. Yeah. When I'm drawing for myself, I'm pretty low tech. And there's something about, I think also crayons that like takes that texture that kind of takes me back. So I wanted us all to start with a prompt. And we won't need to start with drawing, but you could just throw some ideas in the chat about some everyday activities that you do that you don't even really think about. The things that you do when you're pretty much on autopilot.
Oh yeah, making coffee, putting on deodorant,
Oh
taking,
yeah.
eating
Feeding
cat,
cats.
waking up.
Yep. Cooking the standard recipes. Yeah, scrolling, eating. Sarah, that's hilarious. Yeah. Yep. The daily visit to the bathroom. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to take a daily visit to the bathroom. And then I realize, oh, I'm getting out of autopilot. Yep. Locking the door. Yeah. And then sometimes it's like, did I actually lock the door? Because I did it, but I'm not sure I was actually there doing it.
Slouching in my chair. I hear that one. Like
Uh,
sitting, I can sometimes do, but most of the time I'm not. I'm mostly on autopilot, and I can tell because I'm slouching.
uh-huh.
Driving, Aaron says. Driving, a lot of driving.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering too if it's certain times a day. Yeah, now the science part of me, the scientist part of me is kind of like, ooh, when is this happening? What's happened before? What happens after? Yeah. Oh, neighborhood walk. Yeah. It's been important for me to change that up so that I'm actually there on the neighborhood walk. Yeah. Making oatmeal. Uh-huh. Doom scrolling. Yes. Oh, tortoise morning routine. Is that now I'm curious, Mary, is that actual tortoise or is that like describing yourself? Because I kind of want it to be an actual tortoise.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
wait and find out.
This is making me think, yeah, you walk your tortoise in the sun. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that. I love
Lovely. So,
this is actually making me think tomorrow morning I'm going to be very present when I feed my kitten. I'll try not to be on autopilot. Oh my gosh, I need to see some pictures of these pet tortoises, or maybe these are things that people can draw. I have a tortoise in my new book, actually, two tortoises hitting the snooze alarm. Yeah. Okay, these are great, everybody. So, oh, yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah, all of these. Okay, so if you're stuck on an idea, I think the chat can help you out for sure.
mhm.
All right, so we've got that part of it. And I'm going to show you an example of kind of what I'm envisioning that we're going to do, but we'll go on, yep, setting alarm. Yeah, yeah, so many things. So,
Wordle.
yeah,
I gave that up for that reason.
yup. Yeah, somehow, sometimes with the electronics, it's like, oh, yeah, am I there? Oh, detergent to the laundry. Yeah, yes. These are also good, everybody. All right, so I'm going to go to the next prompt and we'll think about this. So hold on to these ideas. We're going to use these and think about one that really resonates for you. Or maybe there's multiple ones and feel free to overachieve and pick multiple ones, but you don't need to overfunction. Um,
Oh.
So, my next question for everybody is, can we actually use these moments as opportunities to ground ourselves and to kind of come home to ourselves in that moment, to be present in that activity? So maybe the turtle soak, or I'm sorry, not turtle, but tortoise soak, or the scrolling, or the setting the phone alarm, or feeding the pets. Um, all these kind of sort of small moments that we do, and then we do so many of these small moments every day. So this is kind of I guess my challenge to all of us, including myself. Um, and so when we think about that, I'm wondering if we can use that moment, that kind of opportunity to slow down and be in that really mundane moment to tell ourselves something we need to hear, not to fix something, because I think often we're grappling with these giant things that aren't fixable by like one human, but to like help ourselves to be with the thing. And so kind of keep that in your mind and maybe take a moment and write down something that you feel like would be important for you to hear. And if you find you're struggling to I have a friend who recently said, oh, after she met my kitten, she was like, we should all be talking to each other like we're kittens. And so if you find that you're veering toward a more like a harsher inner voice, I wonder if you could think of yourself as a kitten and like what you would say to a kitten, as long as it's not like biting you. And or think of like what a friend might say. I'm a big fan of thinking of like an imaginary soothing creature.
Imaginary, what kind of creature?
An imaginary soothing creature.
Oh, soothing. Hmm.
Yeah, like Totoro or oh gosh, who else? Maybe even a bunny, might be totally imaginary or maybe something we know.
Chris says cherry, like from Pee Wee Herman, and Jackie says there was a song by King Missile in the 90s about treating our thoughts like they were kittens. Wow.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like what's that gentleness that you could offer? Oh, and I'm seeing Catherine's asking, can you give some examples? So maybe something like even something kind of neutral, like oops, and hopefully it's not super loud. I'm kind of across the street from the firehouse, so there's
No,
like
we
a
didn't hear anything. I think
okay.
Zoom blocks
Excellent.
that out.
That's awesome. Um, it could be something kind of neutral too. Yeah, like Cindy's saying, breathe in love, or even just like, can I use this moment to just take a breath? Um, or could I focus? Like, what is this cat food looking like that I'm feeding the cat? Um, yeah, using your senses. And maybe telling yourself like it's okay that this is what's happening.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah, how does my body feel? Yeah, I love all these. Oh, I love your stripy legs. Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder what your cat would say to you, Nancy. Like, I bet our animals say all these things. I bet they have names for us too. I'm always curious about that. Oh, yeah, failure is necessary and useful. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. The
Yeah,
water is cold and drinking it feels good. Yeah.
these are great.
Yeah, these are all really great. Oh, my cats say I want to sleep in your lap. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, the free oxygen. These are great. I hope that's helping, Catherine. It seems like there's some really good examples. Yeah, these are all great. I love this.
Thank you, pollinators.
Uh-huh. Yeah, all the people who created the situation you experience now. Yep, I take meds 4 times a day because I'm choosing to be alive. Yeah. Yep. And the animals, they're sensing that. The tortoise wants our attention. The cat wants our attention. My cat would say, thank you for letting me have my voice. Oh, I love that. Oh, and a nudge to come back to yourself. Hmm. Yeah, these are also good. All right, I'm going to move us on to the next slide. So I want to show you a little bit about kind of what we're going to do. We're going to make 4 panels, and we're going to start with um, the first panel is really going to be about that everyday kind of mundane activity that you're doing. And that's going to be the visual part of it. And then you can think about however you want to do text, whether that's going to be in a thought bubble, a speech bubble. Um, oh my gosh, I'm losing the word for like what it just narration. Yeah, narration. That's the word I'm looking for. Um, any of those ways that you want to make your text, but the text is going to be about that kind of like maybe the struggle that's happening for you in that moment. Um, And then in the second panel, we're going to have a panel about showing how this task might be grounding. And I'm going to kind of walk you through, scaffold this a little bit for you in the next slides, but I just want to give everybody this bigger overview so you can kind of have a picture of where we're going before we go back to the kind of building up toward it. And so we're really going to get into thinking about using our senses for that. And so really like mindfully noticing, excuse me, mindfully noticing things like what we hear around us, what we see around us, what things, the textures of things, taste, smell. And then in the third panel, we're going to include the soothing message that we might need to hear. And then in that final panel, we're going to create a visual that somehow shows us actually like doing that mundane activity, maybe more mindfully, or somehow being present with that or appreciating it, taking a moment to slow down. And if you've got questions, definitely pop them in the chat and I will try to answer them. And I'm also going to kind of then pull us back to like smaller bits so that we'll build up to this. Because essentially I'm kind of asking us, I'm really fascinated right now with braiding comics where you have these two things that may be kind of dissonant happening in the same panel. So for example, the braid that I see here is this mundane everyday activity where I'm filling up my bird feeder. And this is something I often I'm just kind of like dumping it in, which is wild because I'm doing this thing in this autopilot way so that I can then come inside and watch the birds mindfully. So there's some kind of irony and like disconnect there probably. But I think so there's that part. That's one of the braids. And then the other braid, the other piece is this struggle and then that kind of language around trying to be present in that instead of being on autopilot. Um,
Well, and the conflict with the squirrel eating your bird seed, you know, I've been there.
uh-huh.
Where
I
you're
feel like actual kind of fondness for squirrels at this point because they're so determined and like they're gonna get in there. So yeah.
it's like you're like, I'm feeding nature, and then the squirrel's here, and you're like, no, get away, I'm feeding nature, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They're kind of wild. All right, so we're gonna kind of build up to this, and you probably have your everyday activity in mind already. And like, again, to just give you some of these ideas, it could be folding laundry, making breakfast, making your bed, brushing your teeth, getting ready to get on the metro or the subway, feeding the cat, and sort of imagine yourself doing that activity and breaking down the autopilot. And you can either make little sketches, or you can jot down notes for yourself, whichever makes the most sense. But when you're doing that, there are kind of 5 things I want you to think about, and that's this idea of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is 5 things you could see, 4 things you could feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And it's okay if you can't come up with the perfect number for each of these. The idea is just to get some sense of what's the sensory experience of doing this everyday activity. So like for me, if I were going to go back and look at this activity of filling my bird feeder, there's kind of the feeling of that plastic and the metal top that's colder than the plastic. And then I'm pouring in that bird food and it kind of goes like plink, plink, plink all the way in. Sometimes I'm accidentally spilling it and then I've got this like giant kind of sad mess on the floor, on the ground that's gone for the squirrels. I'm noticing maybe the smell of the bird seed and of like the nuts and the fruit in it. I'm not tasting it, but maybe I'm like tasting the coffee in my mouth that I just had before I got out to do this. And I'm probably hearing the birds in my yard who are basically like, yo, give me my food. So, except in maybe a nicer way. My kid likes to call them the chirp chirp crew. So it's chirp chirp crew, they're there chirping, they're kind of waiting. So thinking about those, and if it helps you, feel free to put it in the chat. Oh my gosh, a mini cord patch. I love that. Courtesy to squirrels. I think I'm feeling kind of like actually maybe inspired by the idea of feeding my kitten more mindfully. So I'm going to think about this one for myself right now. And I'm thinking about the fact that the kitten really is like rushing at me in like pure anticipation and desire for that food. And so I'm seeing that kitten like super excited with his tail in the air. And he's busily nudging, is that the word? Yeah, nudging my leg to get the food, to get me to hurry up. So he might not actually want to be mindful in this, actually. Maybe that's why I'm not mindful. And I smell the cat food. And I'm always like, oh yeah, he eats this every day, but he still really loves it. Yeah, and I'm usually hearing him mew. I think he must be sleeping right now. Maybe he'll make an appearance. He's very tiny and cute. And I'm not going to include something I can taste because I think I'm usually doing this before it really. I mean, I'm probably tasting some morning breath, which is kind of gross. Maybe we'll take another minute for that. And so this is going to kind of give us the backbone of some of the visuals that we might want to portray in our comic. And you might also think about this almost like stepwise, like, if I'm making my kids lunch, I'm thinking, okay, I got to get the bread. Then I've got to like spread that non-peanut butter sunflower, the sunflower butter on the bread, and then like some honey, and then I've got to put it together. So like thinking about, you could also think about this activity stepwise and think about those different parts of the steps that maybe are pretty automated and we don't really always think about because they just sort of happen out of our awareness. Or if you're scrolling on your phone and you're making your watch list and it's like, oh, I'm actually on this site and I'm picking these things and like, what does that look like? So really trying to kind of envision these different steps.
Is that part two or is part two something else?
This is part one. And then
Oh,
we'll go into part two. So part two is reflecting on something you're struggling with. And it could be something, it could be a minor frustration. Like for today, I got to my office and it was hot. And I've been having a frustration of my office was hot on Monday, and then the air conditioning got fixed and it was on blast on Wednesday. So it was really cold and really loud. And then today it was hot again. So it's like this small thing, but it felt kind of made me a little cranky. So it could be something small, it could be something really big that you're sitting with. It could be something, there's a lot of big things in the world right now. So anything along those range that feels good to you to kind of hold a little bit. And so when you reflect on that, think about what's something that you need to hear that will kind of help you to be with that. And this is where we can go back to either the soothing imaginary creature or thinking of ourselves like we're baby animals, like we're kittens. Oh, and Nikki's asking, do we start? Yes, you can go ahead and you totally can start if you want. And you can also be, I'm kind of scaffolding it so you can kind of create a list if you need, however you want to do it. Or you might want to go ahead and get started drawing. It's really up to you. I'm kind of making a list for myself a little bit and then
And you're drawing too, right? All the making of your kid's lunch.
Mhm.
How old's your kid?
Oh, my kid's 8.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I'm always like, could someone mark me safe from making lunch? I really don't like making school lunch. It's like yeah. Yeah, it would actually be interesting. It could be an interesting juxtaposition too, to think about something that two mundane tasks, putting them together and putting together your frustration maybe about one of them.
Mhm. Or what if the mundane task is just complaining, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Be left alone to complain.
Oh, and Jackie's asking a great question, clarifying, are we doing both part one and part two or choosing? Yes, so you're doing both part one. Part one is really going to help you to think about what should the visuals be. And then part two is really going to be more about what is in the text. So you're kind of braiding these together. So your visuals are going to be about this let's go back that way, the everyday activity. And then the text, however you want to do that, whether it's in a speech bubble or a thought bubble or narration, that's going to be on the reflection of the thing you're struggling with. Oh, Erin, I wish you could come and make lunch for my kid. Like, yeah. Just I hopefully that helps to clarify, Jackie. Yep. Yeah. And so, yeah, so once you've kind of got your brainstormed list, you can go ahead and I'm going to make my 4. I'm going to take us actually back to here. So you have a sense of like kind of what's going to go in each panel. And I'm drawing my 4 panels. And I'll kind of give you a little previews of what I've got as I go. I'll show you what I've got so far for my first panel. I've got the visual of my kitten mewing. And so kind of got that sensory experience of the noise I'm hearing, all that mewing. And I'm actually now kind of wishing I made that mouth even bigger because that's really like, I think what represents him when he's hungry. I'm trying to show, I don't know if you can see, but I'm trying to show his little teeth too, because he's teething and liking to bite lots of things right now.
Oh.
I'm going to add some more muse. And then I'm going to add some text about what I'm feeling. We got some text of, ugh, I don't want to make lunch. I'm gonna go with the school lunch making frustration. Um, and then I'm gonna add some color because I feel like that's
Kara,
kind of
I think you might have a blur on. Do you
oh,
know
do it.
what to do?
Oh, let's
Maybe.
see.
I think that'll help us see the paper a little better. And
It says blur my background, but so I don't know if I have that.
oh,
Oh, hmm.
show it again. Maybe I'm not sure what I'm seeing.
Can you see it? Does
Yeah,
that help?
maybe it's just a yeah. Now it's too close, but that's good.
Was that?
It's funny. There's something going on where there's like a focus zone, a non-focus zone, and then a
Yeah.
zone, but that's okay. Look at that mouth.
Yeah, there's the mouth and there's like his little orange fuzz.
Oh, Kate says it's portrait mode, not a blur. I don't know what portrait mode is. There's too much tech. Also, if you want to switch between Kara and Kara's screen, most Zoom interfaces you can do that. You click on top where it says meeting, and then you can click back to Kara's screen. But that's a great cat.
Then I'm gonna make, so my second panel, right? So now I've got to show how this task can actually be grounding. Never really looks appetizing either.
That listing of sensory things really helped for that second panel, you know.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
This is my second panel. My second panel is really kind of focusing on the sounds that I'm hearing in there. The plink, plink, plink of the kibble, and also the whack of the cat trying to get the kibble faster.
Can you
Is
pull it back a hair?
that
Maybe
better?
maybe forward a hair.
I feel like I'm at
Kate,
the eye
Kate says
doctor.
this is portrait mode, and it's I can see the color.
I wonder if I pull down the PowerPoint, if that would help.
I don't think so. Actually, when it's there, when it's in
Oh,
front of your face, that worked really well. Look at
okay.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, is that good?
yeah.
Yeah. So that second panel is really like, okay, what's that sensory experience of this mundane activity? And I'm saying, woof, that
It's yeah.
smell. Because the cat food, it's like, got my third panel. And I'm telling myself, let's see, how's the lighting, Tom?
But that's yeah. It goes in and out. It's so funny. Oh, out, in, out, in.
The,
Yeah, that's good. Boy, whatever the zoom setting, you might be able to change it. It says,
I wonder.
Kate says it's under video, and then um, oh, what did she say?
Portrait lighting.
Yeah, background and effects, video, portrait lighting. I don't have that. Video, background effects, portrait lighting, studio. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I have those options. Portrait lighting. Oh, I do have it.
Oh, so if I turn off portrait lighting.
Yeah. Oh, there. That changed
Okay, let's
something.
see.
Let's see.
Let's try it. I also will say that my kid was using my app to talk with their half sib, and there was, yeah, things got messed up. They were making an avatar.
Oh, interesting.
How's
Yeah,
that?
that's more consistent for sure.
Okay.
You could probably push that third panel closer to the camera even. Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
that
yeah.
third one is the cat's head in the bowl, crunching. And I'm saying it's okay that I don't want to make lunch. Sometimes it's hard to solo parent. I'm just letting myself be with that sadness, that feeling. And and then in that final panel, I'm going to actually draw myself. And I got my last panel. And I'm saying, thanks for being with me, little buddy. And there's like the kind of snarf noise that cats make when they're eating really quickly. I guess maybe I need to talk to my kitten about mindful cat kibble eating.
My mother-in-law's got this new cat dish that uh is makes it difficult for them to eat quickly because it's broken up into little sections. And she says it's to counter this scarf and barf. Uh, and I never heard of it, but it's basically about getting them to slow down while they eat, I guess.
That's amazing.
Should we see if people are ready to share, Kara, since you've shared yours?
Oh, and Kate, thanks for your tech wizardry. Yeah. Would anybody like to share? And I'm going to take down the slides. So hopefully you've got a sense of what you want to have in those panels.
Yeah, and Kara, see if you can share your, or not share, raise your Zoom hand, and that's
Yeah, let's see.
down below somewhere, and
Um,
that'll.
uh, it's not under React. Do you know where it is for co-hosts?
Um, Sometimes it's on its own little place. Sometimes you got to click the heart that says React and not the
Oh, I see. There we
arrow.
go.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
really complicated. Yeah, we do have some people. Oh yeah, let's look at Kara's. Your spotlight. So.
see if I can get it. Tell
That
me if
looks
it's
good.
like,
That's in focus.
oh yeah, all right.
That mouth.
I mean, I feel like that's the cat, right? When they're hungry. So yes, the first one is, ugh, I don't want to make lunch. And the cat saying mew mew mew. And then the second one is, hmm, whew, it's that smell. And the cat's whacking the food and then it's plink, plink, plink into the bowl. And then I'm saying, and the third one, the cat's crunching. I'm saying, it's okay that I don't want to make lunch. Sometimes it's hard to solo parent. And the fourth one, I think the fourth one, we're probably approaching the scarf and barf because there's um that sort of snarfing noise that's happening. And I'm saying, thanks for being with me, little buddy. And that's it.
I love the color on the cat.
Yeah, he's an orange cat.
All right, well, we can take a look at Carol and then Libby and then Joanne, and I'm sure there'll be some more after that. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, Carol, I'll ask you to unmute. We'll spotlight you. Here you go.
All right, well, mine's pretty literal. Um, just brushing my teeth, and I'm often thinking about my to-do list. The second panel, I just thought of all those things that I could be paying attention to. Probably can't read that, but it's like
Love
I
that.
see myself in the mirror and I taste the toothpaste and I feel the toothbrush and the listening to the water if it's still on. And then thinking of the moment of putting toothpaste on the toothbrush. We have a meditation that we often sing at church called When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. And so I had a variation, which is when I brush right, I am enough. And when I brush left, I belong.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, I really love that second panel with the noticing all the things too. And
I couldn't remember what order you did them in, though. So I
that's
was like,
great. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing, Carol.
I like connecting the right and the left too. Thanks, Carol.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to Libby next and then Joanne and then Eli.
Hello.
Hi, Libby.
Um, I seem to be avoiding panels. Sorry about that. So this summer we've been having a worrisome drought. Very little rain since June. Going outside to pee to save water.
Hmm.
And this is my niece. Don't get worried. Still rated R. I mean PG. And that's my pee. Um, so it just says, wow, such abundance, so much life. Thank you, busy pollinators.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, I love that. Also, it makes me want to go outside to pee.
Well,
Save water, but just to like experience the nature.
I recommend it if you live somewhere that's appropriate.
Thanks, Libby.
Thanks.
We'll go to Joanne. Let's see.
I am not sure if I did this right. I was doing brushing my teeth. Let's see. And what a day. And then on the second panel, I'm smelling the peppermint. And then I go, is there another way to see this? Just asking myself, how can I think about my experience in a different way? And then down here, I say, all I have to do is just be here now and just experience this. And then I also like this, I don't have to be the hero. And she's kind of riding the toothbrush.
Oh, I love that. Did she kind of come out from the toothpaste too? Because that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, Joanne, I love your line.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, those first few panels, especially, just like, oh, it looks like very strong. I love it. Those are amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joanne. We'll go to Eli next and then Jackie. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Where are we? When I was younger, I would sleepwalk a lot or fall out of bed when I was really young. In my early 20s, I would wake up in the middle of the night driving around town. No memory of getting up or walking to the car.
Wow.
That doesn't happen anymore. Um, where are we? I don't sleepwalk anymore, but when I drive, I get lost in my thoughts. My dog is so cute. Do I need groceries? Work, schmirk. I hope mom's okay. I think I'm forgetting something. Did I alienate that person? Past regrets. I made a new friend and overlay of what this neighborhood looked like 25 years ago.
Mm.
I don't mind. I like looking at buildings and trees and vistas. I live in San Francisco, so we have a lot of views.
Yeah.
My mind wanders. It's a nice way to be alone and peaceful. And we do have pink container ships, but it kind of took over that painting a little bit.
Eli, what did you use for your color? It's amazing.
Watercolor.
Ah,
Oh, and some markers. Some markers, watercolor.
that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing it.
It hides all the imperfections. That's the secret.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Thanks. That was fun.
Thanks, Eli. All right,
I
we'll go.
love the connection too between childhood and now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. We'll go to Jackie.
Definitely made this 11 by 14 piece of paper here. So this is me struggling with exercise. Let's see to hold it. Here we go.
Oh, look at
And
that
it's
cat.
just all my self-talk, because my cats always follow me up into the attic. It's all my self-talk about exercise, and my brother's like amazingly physically fit. He's only 2 years younger than me, so he's like 54. It's just crazy. And like, why does it take me so long to do this? And it's already 1 o'clock. And then just, how do people who exercise regularly prioritize this so that it fits in with their schedule and that kind of stuff? So there's that. And then, okay, so one step at a time. And I try to be conscious of like, all right, first take off my glasses so they don't go flying off, but also so that I don't, I'm not tempted to futz with anything else in the attic. And, I've got my water bottle, set up my playlist, and, go get my hoop. And then this is, you know what though? 15 minutes is better than nothing. And then it's been just listening to music. And
Oh, I love that, Jackie. Wow. I love all the little details.
yeah, it's like thanks. Here's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's so great.
Thank you.
What's the song, Jackie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's goes, I can take your man if I want to, but not for you. I don't want to. It's like a TikTok music video, but it's like a TikTok thing, but I forget the name of Mahogany Lux or something like that. But it's just a little 2 or 3 minute song.
Yeah. Joanne's commenting the last frame, you look at peace, and I think you really look like you're in the flow in that last.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you. This was
Oh.
fun.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Jackie. We have Michaela next. I'll share mine if there's a chance to. It seems like there will be. Michaela?
Yeah, I have, let me see if you can see it okay. I made a comic about taking a shower, which can be amazingly difficult to work up to. The older I get, actually, and part of it is having mobility challenges. Let me hold it up so you can, I don't know if you can see that. So this is definitely not a 4-panel comic, but so this page is just sort of some of the challenges. What's it? Let me see what I have. Oh, the noises, the screech when I first turn on the water, and
Uh-huh.
then the swish of the curtain, And the caution, like that's new, I never felt that way when I was 20, that I'm like careful about how the hell I get into the shower. So, and then a bit like what this made me think of is how different shampoos bring me back to different parts of my life if they're brands. So like that first one, the Seba made, that can be good or bad because it brings me back to like my youth. And so sometimes I don't want to use it, and other times it's like, damn, I have come a long way. And there's Alberto VO5. I just remembered it because of this exercise, because I bought it one time in London. So I don't think I've used it in like 50 years or whatever, but thank you. You made me remember it, so thanks a lot. This is fun.
Yeah, wow. I love that you've highlighted the words too. It kind of makes them pop. And
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the yellow highlighter is like really good, but then it doesn't scan well, and it looks brownish when you scan it. So it's like only for Zoom really that it's good. Anyway, thank you.
yeah. I love the shapes too of everything. Yeah, it's great. Thank
Thanks.
Yeah, that's a really astute observation that it doesn't scan well, but it's good for Zoom. I like that. Thanks, Michaela. Okay, we'll go to Kate. Here we go.
Hi, okay. So I'm eating, not really thinking about my food. I clearly see we are marching into authoritarianism. Yet I'm just going about my daily life. Chew, chew. And then I don't know, my cat showed up. So,
love that.
and that was the comforting creature that said, "You'll find a way to resist." And then I'm kind of smelling the savory smell of the food that I'm eating. It's like a tofu, lacquered tofu with green beans. It's really good. Um, and the last one, I love the sensation of Szechuan on my tongue. So that's just sort of kind of coming back into the moment, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I quite did it right.
I love that, Kate, and I love that I mean, joy is resistance too. Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Thanks. That's a good exercise. Thank you.
I love that your cat showed up.
Me too, encouraging us to resist. Thanks,
Yeah.
Kate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We'll go to Chris next. Here we
I feel like cats are naturally resistant, so it's like a good.
go.
Mine's mostly about like us mindlessness and taking things for granted, like you said. So in the morning, I get up and I'm kind of a zombie brushing my teeth. And then I take my kids to school and one of them makes fun of me because I have 60,000 unread emails on my phone.
Cute.
So I'm busy. And then at work, I'll work and there's a plant there and I should just notice that the plant is making oxygen for me. Um, and maybe I do notice and maybe I don't, but it says, "You're welcome. I'm here every day just for you."
Mhm. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the world is still there. Yeah, nature is still there. Oh,
thanks.
yeah, thank you. I love that, Chris.
Yeah, really great. Thanks, Chris. We'll go to Kate next. Here we go. Hi.
Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna follow from Michaela's inspiration around the shower piece, which I certainly relate to. I didn't get very far, and I don't know how the pencil will show up, but this is a maybe PG-13. But this
Okay.
first panel says, Self-care, self-care 101. Take a soothing shower. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, right. First, I have to mentally prepare, get undressed. Do I have towels? Do I have clean clothes? Ooh, it's cold. Is my hair stinky? I have to go through my whole list. And then I think to myself, I guess once I'm actually in the water, it's pretty nice. It's just hard to get here sometimes. And then which way am I going here? And then I say, maybe I can be grateful just for the moment, water, and calming sensory moments after the buildup. And then after, I was going to be all cozy in my towel, just kind of like enjoying the moment.
I love how you've used the different perspectives, Kate. I love that. And I think Sarah's saying that in the chat too.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like lovely to see body and then face and then I think we've got hands. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing it. And that's also so real, the whole like doing the thing and then being like, oh yeah, actually maybe I do kind of like it. Yeah.
Showers are really good for that too, right? Because they just force you into the sensory world a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Kate. I'll replace Spotlight. We've still got some time for y'all to share, so I'm going to do mine. I have to preface mine, Cara, by saying it's fiction because just because I've been making this long fiction and I'm just always looking for ways to expand it and ground it. So the preface is that, gosh, it's so silly, is that it's sort of imaginary post-apocalypse, and it's this character who's sort of got all these kids he's watching, and they stay alive by just scrounging from old supermarkets and stuff. So okay, that's the sort of setup.
That might not be that far from reality,
Well, I
John.
know. That's why I've been doing it. It feels
Uh-huh.
it feels real.
Yeah, it feels like, yeah.
Yeah. So it says, okay, kids, what does it say? Okay, kids, come around for your canned food. Okay, so that's panel one. Panel two, he says, metal on metal. Listen to that. It's a bad drawing of him opening cans. And then it says, uh, smell all those artichokes. We're alive, kids, alive. And then panel three, it says, because I tried to make this kind of complicated, it says, what energy is traveling through me right now? And then in panel four, he says, resentment, befuddlement, confidence, arrogance, sadness. Is there a cocktail for this new combination of feelings? And then he says, it's called kids dinner. So that's it. That is my post-apocalyptic grounded comic. I'll show it.
Wow, thanks for sharing that, Tom. I love that. I
I'll
love
put
that you took it there.
I'll put that in the PDF. And yeah, hopefully we'll forget it. Thanks everyone for letting me share. All right, I'm going to spotlight you, Cara, again. I'm going to bring it back to you because I think we're out of participants. Yeah, and now let me go back to the there you are. All right. So tell us again about your book and where we should get it. And I'm going to
Sure.
put it in the chat.
I can show you a picture of it again if I can find it.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, I gotta find where's my slide? Well,
I'm going to remind people in the chat that
yeah.
you can share and upload to our PDF. I just put that in the chat.
Let me go back to
And I've got your Substack link and your
here's my book. Everything is fine. I'll just work harder. And it's definitely R-rated. I think it's pretty relatable, even if you've not experienced these particular traumas. The wanting to push through everything is, I think, just a very kind of American culture thing to do.
Definitely. Oh, we've got another guest presenter. Edgar wants to share.
Yes.
This might be let's see, a grand finale. Let me see if I can figure out how to unmute you. There you go, Edgar.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I'll spotlight you. There you go.
Thank you for this great opportunity. I thought a lot about the situation and I'll show it to you. And it's kind of unusual because you would think I would be very focused and running around, but you'll see that it's actually a very calm experience. Oh, that's me. You want to see the strip. Okay, I call this Music Begins and Ends My Day. I wake up with the script beside my head. Did the music flow into my head while I slept? Radio production of McCann Erickson Incorporated, 50 Rockefeller Plaza, Dr. Christian, episode number 493, station WABC, May 5th, 1948. So there I am in bed, and the script is next to me. Today I am meeting Tom Saputo, keyboardist par excellence, who will compose music for lyrics I have written to be a new theme song for a 77-year-old radio show about a country doctor, Dr. Christian, written by a returning World War II veteran, Earl Hamner Jr., later of Twilight Zone fame and creator of the Waltons. And here's Tom at the piano in the studio. Okay, Edgar, what about this? Yeah, Tom. He played and sang the song perfectly. I had wanted to sing it since I wrote the lyrics, but there was only 1 hour to spend. I knew I had to get through 23 music cues for this play. And yet, what should have been nerve-wracking was surprisingly calm. I appreciated each track he laid down. In fact, as I silently read the long scene to time the changing music, I began to become emotionally affected as Tom's music enriched Hamner's powerful words. And you see that I'm getting very affected. My goal is, or was, and is to honor Hamner's humanity and his personal kindness to me years earlier. But that's another story. And come and see our show in the Baltimore area on September 20th, if you're around. But anyway, so thank you for letting me talk about something that meant a lot to me and should have been nerve-wracking, but became very emotional. So it was an unusual day.
That's terrific. So can you put that in the chat, Edgar, about the information about that show?
Oh, yes, it's going to be at the Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention, but I'll put some link in the chat, so if you're in the area, you can attend. If you're a member of the radio club, our radio club, you get in free, but otherwise you got to pay some money. But it's worth it. And there's all kinds of stuff. You can meet famous people there, like Haley Mills if you're a certain age. But I'm just there for the play. But yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Go ahead.
Related to that, a lot of us are going to be in Bethesda, Maryland on September 13th. Can you make it to SPX?
I don't even know about SPX. Is that the small publishers something?
Yeah, Small Press Expo. I'll put it in the
please do. Yes, because I'm going to be in Bethesda on September 13th and I for another event, but tell us where it is so I can go. And will you be there in person?
I will.
Oh, geez. Well, I've got copies of several of your books. I'll have to have you sign them. I'll stand in line for hours if necessary.
I don't think that'll be necessary, but I'll sign it. Yes, please show up. And that goes for anybody in the Washington area. I just put it in the chat. September 13th and 14th, I think, is the correct dates. I'll double check, but I'm pretty certain that's it. That'd be great.
What good fortune. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, we got Christian here, and let's see if Christian's ready.
I can show you a picture. I can't really show you a drawing or anything, but I can show you photos. Let me show you photos.
Yeah.
I can show you photos. Hold up. I think I'm trying to. Can you share? Can I share my screen?
So, what kind of photos are you sharing, Christian?
Hold up. I'll show you it was a photo. It was a photo on one of my projects.
Okay, hang on.
One of the projects they made. Hold up.
All right, you should be able to share. Oh, might have lost it. Oh, no, here it is. I've seen Christian at some of the New York City festivals. I don't see it, Christian. Is it coming?
What do you think?
It's a giant cardboard. What is it?
It's a robot.
Cara, maybe that's a way, Cara, for us to return to ourselves. I'll put on a robot a robot costume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a robot costume. Wow.
I don't have anything bronze there, but I can show it.
Oh, that's awesome, Christian. I'm glad you showed up and showed us that. I'm a little bit envious. I sort of want to climb inside of that.
Yeah, I think it might be a good like way for us to realize that we're not robots.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much. And let me go back. There we go. Let me go back to Kara. All right, back to replace. Oops. All right. Well, Kara, thanks. This was really grounding, as you said, as you set out to do. Like, it's really nice to sort of think about what senses am I missing out on right now? I've got the gift of this moment, whatever moment it is, right? And like, I'm just traveling through. Oh, we got another hand up. I'll finish my rant, not my rant, my sort of ramble, and then we'll go to Nancy. But like, what am I traveling through mindlessly, and how can I just sort of like just connect with what is real, which is just the gift of this moment wherever we are.
And I think when we're taken out away from ourselves so much, especially
Yeah.
with so much going on in the world, that to come home to small moments is like maybe extra
Yeah.
poignant.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what Nancy wants to share real fast.
So thank you. This very much resonated.
Mm.
I hike with my dog most mornings. And so this is out on the trails with other people, and it's hello, how are you? Have a great day. Hello, how are you? Have a great day. And we're not really listening to each other, but we're just going through the motions, acquaintances. And then in my second panel, I focused in on me where I can feel the sun, I can feel the breeze, I can just become a little more aware of the beauty of the woods. Um, and then in this third panel, my dog, he's a French bulldog, he likes to stop and look around. So we do these random stops. And it's a moment to say, how are we? We are doing our best. We're okay and we're doing our best out here. And then the final panel is an enormous sun, because I always feel the sun is the warmth of my mother, who I lost many years ago. And I feel the warmth of the sun, and I always feel my dad watching over me, a little red cardinal. And so it just sort of takes it. It resonated, Cara. It definitely
Oh,
resonated.
so glad. Nancy, I love those colors too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for this, Tom and Cara.
Thank you, Nancy.
Very.
We'll finish up with Maxine. Here we go.
Oh, hello. Hey, 1 second. I'm on my phone, so I just got to figure out how to flip this to. Let me turn the blur off. I was hoping it wouldn't do that. Video.
Yeah, Zoom gives us too many options.
Yeah, I was hoping when when I swapped it that it wouldn't want to use the blur.
I can see awesome purple on there.
I know, right? Waiting for it to come into focus.
Yeah. Tom, I'm appreciating your like your desire to get my piece of paper focused now. It's like you're at the eye doctor a little bit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll remind everybody to share. I put it in the chat. Ah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, thanks, Maxine. Now we can see it.
So yeah, this one, it's like sometimes it feels like it's too much effort. Nothing is easy, and it feels like I keep doing the same things. And sometimes I wonder if it's worth it. But yeah, sometimes it is.
Oh, I love that. I love your lines too.
Oh, thank you.
The
Yeah.
color, the purple just kind of makes it pop, and those little what is it called? Tom, you probably know the technical term like errata, or the what
Oh,
are
the
the
Emanada.
Manada, yeah. I can't pronounce anything. Yeah, the Emanada. Oh yeah, I love that. Thanks, Maxine.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. This was great.
Love that character. Thanks, Maxine. Okay, we'll go to Miles. Almost finished here. Here's Miles.
Oh, can you hear me okay? I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
I've got my little dish rack. And it seems like I'm always waiting around for someone else's decision. And with me blending my protein before anything good can happen. There's my giant soothing bird says, I think you already know what you need to do. And then there's me. True, I should probably eat some real food first. Thanks. Yeah, always screams while I'm.
Oh my gosh, Miles, I love your line too.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Miles.
Yeah.
I love that. We'll go back to Cara on the Zoom there. Was that our only example? Maybe there are a couple of an actual large soothing bird or animal presence. Were there a couple others, or was that the only one? I can't remember now. But I like that suddenly this giant bird appeared, you know.
Yeah.
And I like that you mentioned Totoro, which is definitely a good example. Anyway, Cara, good luck with everything. Did you seem to imply you're working on another book?
I am.
Oh my gosh.
I've written
Really?
2 other books, but one is more active than the other. I've got a first draft of a kid's graphic novel. So if anybody has any advice, like what do I do with this thing? It feels very different than a graphic memoir. I think my critique group, I know someone in my critique group who's here is looking at it. But it was very different than making a memoir. And it's about a tortoise on the lamb. So that basically has a kind of confrontation with a bossy neighborhood cat. And a pair of flea friends save the day. So I'm sort of like, oh, could I go down like a Dogman type path? I feel like there could be some sequels to this, but I also am like, what do I do with this thing? It feels like an unfamiliar, a different journey, but fun. So I have a draft of that. And then I'm working on this series of braided comic essays. And I'm really into birds. So it's like a lot of bird stuff and then a lot of like kind of emotional inheritance and intelligence stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
All right, great. I'm gonna ask everybody to unmute and give you a round of applause. Thanks so much for coming out, Cara. I'm sorry we won't see you at FDX, but
Hey,
good luck
Cara.
anyway.
Love
Thank you, everybody.
that.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Cara.
Cara. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Lorraine
you.
just launched a
Thank
book,
you.
Cara.
Weekend.
All right. Good night to everybody. We'll see you next
Jag
week.
just